at all these clean dishes. I was a smart girl last night.
Last night?
Not always, but definitely last night. What time is it? It is 8:23. Morning. Morning.
Yeah, that light is turned off now.
Yeah, see?
Well, let's see.
Has to be a light triggered thing.
Yeah.
How's everyone doing? How are all of my sick friends feeling? Is everyone on the mend? Is anyone on the mend?
Hope so.
Any/everyone? Yeah, hope so for sure. Hope so for sure. We can only hope. Morning. Either one. I think I'm actually getting sick. Oh no. James and I are on our way to Corona. Yay, thank you. That's exciting. I get jars today and charms. Whoa, what a world. Yay. Let's do a charm and jar dance.
I like it.
You like the charm and jar dance?
Good dance.
Oh, thanks. You're on your way to the bank. Oh. I don't really go to the bank. I do online banking. Oh, Cindy, that sucks. You have a call in 6 minutes, Shelly? Eesh. Terrible. What a start to the morning.
Worky call?
Yeah, but she's on the East Coast, so there's logic to it.
There is.
There's logic to it.
We're also at
Yes, it's true. I'm going from home from the eye doctor. How was it? Yeah. It's Monday. It's true.
Yeah, I talked to your eyes. Try to give you a bunch.
Someone has seen a very specific episode of Friends recently. It was fine, boring. So Richard Burke wasn't there, is what you're telling me. I know, Amanda. We were just talking about how there's no football tonight. Yeah.
No hit boys tonight.
Unfortunately, no Richard Burke and no football. Morning, Alyssa.
But guess who made the playoffs?
We made the playoffs. Why is there no football tonight?
Because they did football on Saturday.
Because they did Monday Night Football on Saturday for the last 2 weeks. You just watched the one where Rachel makes the trifle. That's funny. And the Vikings are not in the playoffs. No, but the Steelers are. Hey, I'm going to post about... Oh, yay! That's exciting, Grace. I haven't been paying attention. I assume the Vikings are not in the playoffs. The Vikings are not in the playoffs. No, sorry, friend. Addie and Amanda actually both live in Viking territory. Do they not have a calendar? Are they confused? They don't have a calendar, and they are confused. The Bills and the Lions are in the playoff. Yes. Correctamundo. Correctamundo.
And we are playing the Bills next week.
Uh-oh.
So we're a Bills fan.
Is anyone here a Bills fan? Do we have to root against you? Yeah, Saturday isn't a Monday. Could be a wild card. Could who be a wild card? I don't super know how the wild card works. I've not asked a lot of questions about that.
Wild card.
All right, we do have Bills fans in the house, so... There is football tonight? No, there's not. We looked it up literally like 5 minutes ago. NCAA championship. What's that?
Oh.
Oh, college football.
We can go watch that.
I guess.
Championship game.
All right, if you want. Yeah, if you want to go grocery shopping tomorrow then? All right.
For it.
Shelly is very, very sternly rooting for Michigan.
Oh.
That's where she went to college.
That's fair.
Yeah. Amanda said, meh, college is just okay.
Michigan Wolverine.
Oh, Liz said Michigan are cheaters, though. Fighting words.
They are.
Wait, it's not. No, it's where you grew up, not where you went to school, right? She went to Syracuse, but grew up there. Oh, snap. They're cheaters? They're cheaters? Tell me more. I want to hear everything. What did they do?
It was a giant scandal.
Whatever that gift he got for you, it's giving. Yeah. Secret boyfriend got me a Dyson for my birthday, and it does. It gives your hair volume. Sign stealing? What's sign stealing? I know, it's hilarious, Valence Vibes. She just said, it's crazy that the chat is now about sports. That wasn't on my 2024 bingo card. It's pretty funny. It's only, I think, good morning, Catherine. It's only, I think, until the, what do you call it? Super Bowl? And then it goes bye-bye till the end of the year, right?
Yeah.
They sent people a video to study so they knew how to play against them. How is that cheating? I don't understand how that's cheating.
I think they were recording other teams' practices, which are,
People paying to learn the other teams and call in advance of their games. I call that good research and development.
R&D,
Yeah. He made Sasha into a sports girl. Oh no! I'm broken.
I actually did not force it on her.
He did not force anything. See, your boyfriend's not the forcing type. Wait, why is that against the rules? Is the video app up to date? It's one behind, Becca. It's one behind. She was asking if I put the recaps up yet. One behind. But we could do a recap here real quick if you want. So you can stay. Apparently everybody does it, but they did it too much and got caught. Huh. You can study tape, which doesn't show their sidelines, but can't record their sign calls. Interesting. I guess if everyone knew each other's plays, it would be boring. I guess that's true. Huh. Okay. Do people want a quick recap of what happened in the last chapter? Yes or no?
Oh, tell, I don't know who told us about it, but we used the Iron Fish yesterday.
Oh yeah, we got the, oh wait, she's not in here. Alexandra's not in here, but I'll tell her when I see her again. We got the Iron Fish. Okay, this is a really easy recap. It's the twins' 15th birthday, and their mother forced them all to go out to dinner. And no, it did not affect the taste of the, we made pasta last night, and I couldn't taste it. No.
It tasted great.
Yeah, the pasta was great. They went out to dinner with Bob and their mom, Charlotte, and it turns out that they were seated at the diner right next to the book huggers, those 4 girls from the previous books who were like on a mission to find out what happened to Alex. And those girls overheard everything that they were saying. That's pretty much what happened. And Connor told his mom that they want to go into his stories and bring back his heroes to help fight the literary villains. That's literally what happened. It was really drawn out, but that's all that happened. We're gonna smoothie dance though now, you guys. Okay, I want to ask a really quick question before we start. Sasha, I put a keychain on Ellie's backpack this morning. Aww, that's so cute. Oh, send her my love. Cute baby. You know the keychain with little Sasha on it?
Yeah.
She put one on her 4-year-old's backpack to go back to school this morning.
That's adorable.
Yeah, so she's very happy about it. That's very cute. Wait until you see the new keychains that Shira is making for us. Everyone's getting Rory for a birthday keychain on their birthday soon. What?
Which one's Rory?
The birthday dinosaur unicorn. Shira made him.
Oh, I haven't seen
He's
that.
very cute.
I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah, he's just for birthdays. He's just for birthdays. He's a little unicorn dinosaur. Yay, I'm so glad you love your new slimes. I want to ask a really quick question while we have a smaller amount of our slime people here. Who are my gasoline girlies? Yes, Becca, but you don't need to. You have mod privileges. Who are my gasoline girlies that are in here right now? Okay, Shira, I'll see you later. So Jen, Cindy, Ray, I already got you because I knew you were. Okay, Cass, Amanda, will the 4 of you DM me on Patreon right now before I send out your monthly stuff? Alyssa, you also. This is not about the regular gasoline thing. So I was making something special for somebody and I made a little bit of extra for a bunch of us gasoline girlies to try. So I'm going to put a sample into each of your packages because I know all of you get monthly packages anyway. Well, Amanda, do you want me to just put this sample in? So that, because it's free, I'm giving these to you guys. This is not something that you're being charged for. I want you guys, but here's the trade. The trade is you have to report back to me about it and you have to give me feedback. Thank you. Whoa, straw time.
Whoa.
I only have 8 of them though. So all the people who just messaged, including Amanda and Addie, because I have enough for you guys, message me right now on Patreon so that I see it, and because I'm shipping all of the monthly orders today and tomorrow. So it is a pretty straw. It was a gift. And I want to make sure that I get them into your packages. Let me tell you what it is, and I need you to assess it against your other gasoline stuff. If you have them and if you don't have other gasoline stuff, just assess it in your brain and report back. What it is it is a blend that is meant to mimic specifically the streets of Los Angeles after the rain. No, it's okay, Amanda. I'll send this because you already have a lot of stuff to go into this package anyway, so it's going to be a full package as it is. You should, Becca. You really should. So what it is like rain and yes, Liz, I have one more. So it's got rain in it. It's got the gasoline stuff in it. It's got a little bit of burnt rubber in it to mimic like the tires and that kind of thing. It's very specific. It was requested by actually a friend of mine who's not a Slimer at all. She just wanted the scent. And so I was testing the scent for her because she wanted it for like a candle or whatever. And she was like, well, can you make this? And I was like, I don't know, maybe. So I'm trying it and y'all gotta let me know. So when I'm off of here and I'm going to pack orders, I'll see those DMs and I'll remember to put those in there. I'm sure, Cindy, I'm sure. So that's the whole kit and caboodle on that. And if it's good, we will make it long term. Alyssa, thank you. I don't know if I could do that one. I don't know. I know a lot of people love the puppy breath thing, but I don't know if I could do it. Yeah, a lot of people like the smell of like the ground after the rain. So that's kind of where that came from. Okay, so anyway, that is what I wanted to say to all the folks. I'm sure it does, Grace. I'm sure it does. Yeah, I'm not a grass fan. Not a grass fan at all. I would have to get a puppy to sniff first. I am not in a place right now to have an animal specifically because the slime room is too accessible. If we ever move to a place where like the slime room, hey Will, long time no see, is like removed from the rest of the house, but I would have to prevent the animal from getting into the slime room. And keeping a puppy out of a slime room seems hard. But we would like to have a dog one day. Baby gates, yeah, that's true, but then I would have to climb them. My cat will touch slime if left to her own devices. Correct. 100% she will. Yes. Athlete days. I had none of those. None. All right, so we are on chapter... You can get a baby gate with a door for you. Oh. Interesting. Maybe. Climb them. Gates open. That's enough from you, Becca. All right. Wheelchair basketball. That's cool. All right. Chapter 5 is called Cries from the Castle. Are we ready? I think we are. Had someone told Bree Campbell 2 weeks ago that she would have been flying above another continent on a World War II plane with 3 distant relatives, she would have laughed. Ironically, that's exactly where Bree was, and she wanted to cry. She had always considered herself a person of good judgment and responsibility, but as she bounced around the Boeing B-17 Flying Fortress 13,000 feet in the air, somewhere between France and Germany, Bree suddenly felt like the lead character in a cautionary tale. Can you believe that I haven't flown one of these since the 60s? Cornelia called from the captain's seat. The old woman's hands clutched the controls, but from the way that they jerked back and forth, it looked like the plane was controlling her more than she was controlling it. Bree, Wanda, and Frenda were strapped to their seats and holding on for dear life. They'd been flying for 9 hours straight, and thanks to Cornelia's questionable piloting skills, it had been the bumpiest flight of Bree's life. And from the way things are going, it might be her last. "And Cornelia, are you sure you don't need a hand up there?" Wanda asked. "I'm fine, thank you, dear," Cornelia said. "It's just like riding a bike." "Yeah, off a cliff," Frenda said. When Bree first met the Sisters Grimm and heard about their life's work monitoring portals between the other world and the fairy tale world, she thought that they were the most capable group of women she had ever known. However, she was learning the hard way that capability did not include flying a plane. Cornelia, remind me again when you went to piloting school?" Bree asked. "Well, technically I never went," Cornelia said. "My father was a pilot during the war, and this was his plane, and he taught me how to fly when I was about your age, Bree. He flew this baby to Germany many times. Thank goodness we're going under different circumstances." "Your father fought in World War II?" Bree asked. "That must have been difficult with so much family in Germany." "Oh, most of our family left long before the war," Cornelia said. "Would you like a flying lesson, Bree?" Bree wasn't convinced that Cornelia knew how to fly, let alone give flying lessons. She looked to Wanda and Frenda, and they motioned for her to go. "You can't be any worse than her," Frenda said. "Learn everything she knows and save us," Wanda said. Bree was scared to unbuckle her seatbelt, but she did quickly unfasten it and dashed to the co-pilot's seat beside Cornelia. There was an overwhelming number of buttons and switches and levers before her. "I don't think I can do this," Bree said. "If you can operate that phone of yours so well, this will be a walk in the park," Cornelia said. "Besides, the co-pilot's job is the easiest." "Wait a second," Bree said. "There should be 2 pilots flying this plane?" "Traditionally," Cornelia said. "But it always takes 2 men to do what a woman can do on her own." Bree would never have gotten on the plane if she thought that it would lead to this. She was making the trip to save a friend, but who was going to save her? As soon as she learned that Emmerich had been kidnapped, Bree had a strong feeling it wasn't normal. Otherworldly abduction. She had no evidence to suspect. She had no evidence to suspect. She had no evidence to support the suspicion. That's hard to say, support the suspicion. But she felt it with every fiber of her being and couldn't shake it no matter how hard she tried. Bree had pestered Frau Himmelsbach for more information about the incident, but Emmerich's mother grew tired of questions and eventually ignored her calls. Bree had shared her hunch with the Sisters Grimm, and they agreed that the circumstances were fishy. "It is curious that he was kidnapped so soon after being in the fairy tale world," Cornelia said. "If he was taken by someone from the fairy tale world, we have tools that can prove it," Wanda told Bree. "What kind of tools?" Bree asked. "Cross-dimensional emission tracking devices," Brenda said. "Whenever someone or something travels between the worlds, a portal leaves a radiation-like scent on them. We have machines that can detect it." "Awesome," Bree said. "All we need now is a way to get to Germany." Cornelia had been cooped up in their Connecticut home for so long that she was looking for any excuse to get out of the house. She generously offered Bree a ride to Germany on their family plane. Bree was so desperate to find Emmerich that she didn't hesitate on taking her up on that offer. There was only one thing standing in her way. Bree had technically run away from home to find the Sisters Grimm. If she was now going to Europe, she needed a really good excuse so that her parents wouldn't call the police. Luckily, Cornelia supplied that as well. "Is this little Eddie?" Cornelia had said to Bree's father over the phone. "This is your cousin Cornelia. I know, it has been a very long time. Darling, I'm calling to sincerely apologize to you and your wife. You see, Bree recently called me with questions about our family heritage. She was so interested. I just invited her to come stay with me so I could tell her more. Well, I just found out she never ran it by you. I know, my thoughts exactly. Inexcusable. I'm sure you were both scared to death. My intention was to send her home immediately, but unfortunately, I had a bad fall this morning and I injured my hip. No, I'm not in any pain. Yes, of course there's something you can do. Would it be terrible if Bree just stayed with me till the end of the weekend? No, I'm useless on my own. Just until Wanda gets back into town, and then we'll put her on the train home. She's been such a help." "You bet. No, yeah, absolutely. No privileges whatsoever. Thank you. Thank you so much, dear." The next thing Bree knew, she and the Sisters Grimm were on their way to a small private airport. However, Bree, Wanda, and Frenda all thought Cornelia had hired a pilot to take them to Germany. They didn't realize that Cornelia was planning to fly the plane herself until she switched on the propellers and launched them into takeoff. Now, at just 15 years old, Bree was sitting next to the old woman being taught to fly the Boeing B-17 Flying Fortress. If Bree lived long enough to become an old woman herself, she wasn't sure her grandchildren would ever believe the story she was currently telling. "Taking off is the easy part," Cornelia instructed. "You just simply put the propellers with the blue dial and turn the red gear to steering mode. And then to get the plane onto the runway, push down on the green lever and pull up on the controls." Bree gulped. "Blue dial, red gear, green lever, controls," she repeated. "Perfect," Cornelia said. "To fly, all you do is pull up on the green lever and turn the red gear to flight mode. Adjust the altitude with the brown handle and steer the controls. Here, give it a go." Cornelia flipped a switch and the whole plane turned off. They entered a rapid descent towards the earth. Bree watched in panic as the numbers on the altitude monitor dropped hundreds of feet per second. Wanda and Frenda were screaming so loudly she could barely focus. "Green lever, red gear, brown handle, controls!" Bree said, mimicking everything that Cornelia had instructed. The Boeing B-17 Flying Fortress stopped plunging towards the ground and glided smoothly through the clouds. In fact, it was flying much more easily with Bree at the controls. "You're a natural flyer," Cornelia said. "It's in our DNA." Bree thought that there might be some truth to this. Since the magic in their family's blood came from Mother Goose, she wondered if a few of Mother Goose's flying genes had been transferred too. There was actually a lot about Cornelia that reminded Bree of Mother Goose. They both had the same twinkle in their eye when they put others in danger. "How much longer till we're on the ground?" Wanda asked. "Safely on the ground?" "We've already begun our descent," Cornelia said. "We'll land shortly after we pass over Füssen." Bree recalled that the area didn't have many large cities. Does Füssen have an airport?" she asked. "We don't need an airport to land," Cornelia said. "To quote Coco Chanel, the world is your runway." "Mother, she was talking about fashion," Frenda yelled. "Everyone stop worrying. This baby is built for combat," Cornelia said. They didn't care what it was built for. Landing a plane anywhere but in an airport sounded like a crash landing to them. Bree, Wanda, and Frenda tightened their seatbelts until there was no slack left. Soon, the small Bavarian city of Füssen came into view, and Cornelia searched the ground for a smooth surface to land. "That field should do," she said. Cornelia jerked the controls, and the Boeing B-17 Flying Fortress curved through the air, lowering towards a grassy field below. As the plane turned, Bree caught a glimpse of Neuschwanstein Castle peeking through the hills in the distance. It was as if she was seeing an old friend. The castle was just as majestic as it was the first time she saw it with Connor on Mary's Bridge. "All right, time for your landing lesson," Cornelia said. "You start by turning the red gear to landing mode. Pull up on the green lever. Turn the black knob to put down the wheels. Pull up on the controls so we're parallel to the ground." Red gear, green lever, black knobs, controls. "Got it," Bree said. "Splendid," Cornelia said. "Now land us." Bree, Frenda, and Wanda were horrified. It was like Cornelia had a death wish or something. What? But I've never landed a plane before," Bree said.
The plane was getting closer and closer to the ground. Someone had to land it before it was too late. Cornelia looked over her glasses at Bree with total faith in her eyes. Sometimes, if we enter situations that scare us with both hands on the wheel, they don't seem as frightening. Cornelia, she said as calmly as ever, or in this case, with both hands on the controls. Bree couldn't believe that Cornelia was making her do this. She could feel her heart beating in the back of her throat. One wrong move and they would all be dead. Carefully and quickly, Bree turned the red gear to landing mode, pulled up on the green lever, turned the black knob to put the wheels down, held the controls to make the plane parallel to the ground. "We're gonna crash!" Wanda yelled vigorously, crossing her chest. "Wanda, you're not even Catholic," Brenda said. "I know, but we're gonna need all the help we can get." The wheels slammed into the grassy field and the plane landed like a rock skipping across a lake. It tore up large strips of earth as if leaving a long message in Morse code. Finally, the plane decelerated and rolled into a shaky and sudden stop. "Oh my God," Bree said in disbelief. "I just landed a plane." "Mother, how could you let a 15-year-old land a plane?" Brenda said. Cornelia burst into a fit of giggles. "You're all so gullible," she said. "I had autopilot on the whole time." The others did not find this funny at all. "You mean all that was for nothing?" Bree asked with an angry scowl. "No, you did quite well," Cornelia said. "Had autopilot failed, we would have had a successful landing. My father did the same thing to me on my first flight. Best lessons are learned when it's sink or swim. And you're quite the swimmer." Once their hearts settled to a normal pace, Bree and the Sisters Grimm locked up the plane and headed for Emmerich's house. Bree thought leaving the plane unattended in a field was a strange thing to do, but Cornelia assured her that planes were very difficult to steal. Bree led the women through the outskirts of Houston to the little village just below Neuschwanstein Castle called, oh boy, here we go, Hohenschwangau. Since Cornelia walked with a cane, Bree was worried that the journey would be too much for her, but the old woman hobbled along, excited to be on another Sisters Grimm adventure. They walked past all the souvenir shops, restaurants, and inns dedicated to the castle and found the Himmelsbach's tiny home on the edge of town. Thank you, Anya. That's pretty funny. "There it is," Bree said and pointed to the front steps. "That's where Connor and I met him." The sight made Bree feel remarkably nostalgic. It seemed like just yesterday that she and Connor had told Emmerich that they were secret agents so he'd take them into the castle after visiting hours. They hadn't been friends for long, but Bree and Emmerich had shared such incredible once-in-a-lifetime adventures. She couldn't believe that there was a time when the little German boy was a stranger. She just hoped that they could bring him home, wherever he was. "Here goes nothing," Bree said. "I hope Frau Himmelsbach is better at answering the door than she is the phone." They walked up to the front steps and rang the doorbell. They waited, but no one answered. Bree rang the doorbell again, holding it down longer. A moment later, Frau Himmelbach answered the door. "Kann ich dir helfen?" she asked. If Bree hadn't recognized her voice from the phone, she wouldn't have thought it was Emmerich's mother. The woman had brown hair, olive skin, and it was very different from her son's pale skin and rosy complexion. She had puffy eyes and sunken cheeks, like she had been crying and not eating much. She wore a big black robe over a nightgown and probably hadn't changed clothes in days. The woman wasn't what Bree was expecting, but she definitely looked like the mother of a missing child. "Frau Himmelsbach, I'm so sorry to disturb you," Bree said. "I'm Bree Campbell. I'm your son's friend from the United States." Emmerich's mother was not happy to see her, and especially not happy to see that she had brought friends with her. "What's wrong with you, child?" the Frau said. "I told you to stop calling and you've come to my home anyway." "I'm sorry," Bree said. "I know you don't want to talk to me, but I couldn't stay away. These are my cousins Cornelia, Friend, and Wanda. We've traveled all this way because we want to help find your son." Frau Himmelsbach crossed her arms and shook her head. She wasn't easy to convince. "You Americans and your egos," she said. "What can you do that the Bavarian police cannot?" Bree looked to the Sisters Grimm, hoping one of them would have an answer. "Well, we're private investigators who specialize in child abduction," Cornelia said. "We brought special equipment along with us that might point us in the direction of whoever took your child." "The police searched every inch of my home," the Frau said. "They did not find a single clue." "With all due respect, ma'am," Wanda said, "the Bavarian police can't find clues like we can. May we please come inside?" The distressed mother looked back and forth among the women and tried to think of a reason not to let them. But she couldn't. "Fine," she said. "I apologize. My house is a mess." Frau Himmelsbach escorted Bree and the sisters Grimm inside her home. The Frau offered them a seat in the sitting room, and Cornelia and Bree happily accepted. From the sofa, they could see into Emmerich's bedroom through an open door in the hall. The walls were covered in posters of superheroes. Bree remembered him saying he wanted to visit the United States because that's where all the superheroes lived. The memory made her miss him even more. "May we have a look around?" Frenda asked. "Well, as you wish," the Frau said. Frenda and Wanda got to work right away. They each removed a cross-dimensional emission tracking device from their purse, and the device looked like a long microphone connected to an old radio. They waved the microphone parts around the house, and the radio parts began to beep as they went. They searched the entire sitting room and kitchen, but didn't find anything. The search continued in Emmerich's bedroom, and when they scanned the area by his window, the machines beeped like crazy. Wanda looked to Bree and Cornelia, and with one nod she said, "Someone from the fairy tale world has definitely been there." Bree's hunch was right. "Was Emmerich taken by the window?" Frenda asked. "Yes," Frau Himmelsbach said, surprised that they knew. "It happened the night it happened. Emmerich was sleeping in his bedroom while I was in here reading. I heard a noise, so I went to check on him. His window was open, and in the distance, I saw someone in a black cloak running away with Emmerich over their shoulder." She broke into tears, recalling the terrifying sight, and Cornelia handed her a handkerchief. "I chased them, but they disappeared into the night," the Frau said. "I called the police, and they came to the house every day for a week, but never found anything, not even a fingerprint. How did you know he was taken from the window?" If they were going to tell the Frau the truth, Bree figured it was best to start at the beginning. "Shortly before Emmerich was taken, he and I made a crazy discovery," Bree said. "We did this thing, like a blood test, and it proved that he and I are actually related. Our blood matches DNA from the brothers Grimm." "The brothers Grimm?" the Frau asked. "Yes," Bree continued, "which means Cornelia, Frenda, Wanda, and myself are either related to you or Emmerich's father." The Frau was very confused. "I wouldn't know either way," she said. "Emmerich isn't my biological son. He was adopted." "Adopted?" Bree said in shock. "He never mentioned that." "That's because I never told him," Frau Himmelsbach said. "He was abandoned when he was a baby, and I didn't want him living thinking he was unwanted." Everything Bree thought she knew suddenly changed. She quickly abandoned her plan to tell the Frau about the fairy tale world. Clearly, she didn't have all the facts straight. Where was he found?" Bree asked. "Neuschwanstein Castle," she said. "My father used to work nights there as a security guard. One night he was patrolling the halls and heard crying. He followed the cries to the singer's hall, and found Emmerich wrapped up in a blanket in the middle of the floor. Someone must have left him there during a tour earlier in the day. It was very strange because my father swore he had checked multiple rooms earlier that night and never saw the baby." Bree and the Grimm sisters were all thinking the same thing. Emmerich wasn't related to the brothers Grimm after all. He was from the fairy tale world. Someone must have crossed through the portal in the singer's hall and left him in the castle. The Frau's eyes suddenly grew wide, and she covered her mouth fearfully. "Wait a moment," she said. "That reminds me of something I completely forgot. There was a note pinned to his blanket when he was found. Let me see if I can find it." Why did he all of a sudden... How come she's Irish now? Why did that happen to me? Emmerich's mom went down the hall to her bedroom. They heard her searching madly through her drawers and belongings. A few minutes later, she returned with a piece of parchment. Her hands were shaking as if she were holding some ransom note. She handed it to Bree and the sisters Grimm, and they all gathered around to read the note. "To whoever find this child, please take him to a loving home that will offer protection. His father is a..." Oh. Rewind. "To whoever finds this child, please take him to a loving home that will offer protection. His father is a very dangerous man, and this child is not safe with his mother. Should the father learn of the son's existence, the child will be in grave danger." It appeared that Bree and the sisters Grimm had helped the Frau uncover a suspect in her son's disappearance, Emmerich's biological father. "It was so many years ago I forgot the note existed," Frau Himmelsbach confessed. "Even then, I didn't take it seriously. I never thought that they would find him." Should we take this to the police? Wanda asked. No, we can't, the Frau exclaimed. You see, I never legally adopted Emmerich. I fell in love with him the minute my father brought him home. At the time, we were very poor, and I was afraid that he would be taken away if we called the police, so we kept it a secret. If they found out now, I would never see him again. Bree had so many questions. She could barely see straight. She always loved a good mystery novel, but she never thought that her life would turn into one. If you're related to him, do you have any idea who Emmerich's parents are? Frau Himmelsbach asked. Do you know where they might have taken him? I'm afraid not, Bree said, but I know someone who might. Dun, dun, dun! The next chapter is pretty long, so we're going to have to do that one tomorrow. Because I have a lot of work to do before Miss Shira arrives today. You smell oranges? Are you having a stroke? I smelled popcorn in the elevator yesterday. Because I'm hungry? Morning, Kristen! The belly gurgles. It did. I didn't notice, but I believe it. Yeah. So that is what is up, and that's pretty much it. I don't have anything else to say. Poor Emmerich. Searching for a fork so I can eat my ravioli. Ravioli. We had pasta last night too. Poor Emmerich. He's dealing with some stuff. Sad. Anyway, lots and lots of people's slimes are mailing out today and tomorrow, so check your DMs on Patreon if you're on there, because I DM'd a lot of people yesterday when I printed out their labels. Everybody's like little stacks are sitting with their labels right now waiting for the charms to come from Shira, and then as soon as I get that, they'll all go into the mail. Love you, give Shira a hug for me, and Shira gives a hug for me. Fair enough, we can do that. I will add those extra little thingies to the packages, and it is a slime party. Lots of slime happening, and I will tell Sherry, I said, hey Liz, I didn't see you there. How are you? Hugs from everybody to everybody, and maybe I need to make white glue base later, so maybe I'll do it on live. I don't know. I'm totally out of butter base. I've MOU last night for the guest letter. Thank you! And I printed out your label as well, Kristen, with your challenge. I think you did a challenge, right? You did the challenge video. You were the mermaid, maybe? Am I remembering right? Is that correct? Yeah, I'm out of butter base, so I gotta make butter base today. Mickey's in space. Mickey's in space. Okay. I joined late. I couldn't go to work because... Oh no. Are you okay? Your whole family's riddled with back issues lately. Yeah, it's a good scent. It's a good one. Muscle relaxers are great. Ugh. All right, I will see you all later, and have a great day. Until then, goodbye, friends.